I don't have any formal sales training at all. The closest thing I have is I used to be a close-up magician. Several years ago, I had a marketing business and it failed ultimately, Simon. It was my first ever business. You kind of don't know what you don't know at the time, when you set things up. And when I kind of reflected back on it, we had a lot of things right, but we didn't have the finance function in place, or the full finance function. And so what we ended up doing was making lots of small mistakes that kind of took us off course ultimately. And then set up another business after that, and then eventually met with an accountant. One of the things that I'd been doing before that is kind of acting as a consultant and helping lots of businesses in generally in many different industries to help them to get their pricing and selling right. Now, I don't have any formal sales training at all. The closest thing I have is I used to be a close-up magician. So it was my job to kind of at a wedding, walk up to a table and convince 10 normally drunk people who don't want a magician there, don't want to be interrupted, didn't ask for me there, don't believe in magic, don't like magicians, kind of have 5 minutes to convince them that magic is real. So that was kind of my sales training. Implemented a sales system into an accounting firm that I met in Manchester. And then off the back of that, we started to scale it. Northern accountants heard about us. And it was in that one interaction that then created our product GoProposal. And what was great when we developed it, I wanted to help accountants to make sure and bookkeepers to make sure they were charging for everything and all the hard work and value that they bring. But because I'd also been on the other side of the fence as well, I wanted it to be fair for the client. I wanted it to be transparent for the client. And I wanted to make sure that these accountants were giving the clients everything they needed. Because at the end of the day, if you don't give that client everything they absolutely need, they could potentially end up in a similar situation that I ended up with. So I've always seen this as both sides of the fence. But you can't just give people software and say, right, this is how you charge more, because there's so many things that prevent them from actually taking that and implementing it, which is all around mindset. And so the whole purpose of the book, Selling to Serve, was to kind of build on that and elaborate on that and to get into some real deep subjects to understand why we're afraid of selling, why we're afraid of charging for everything, why we're afraid of charging for anything in some cases, and what clients really mean when they say no. So just really digging into the psychology of that.